So today we're going to be talking about a build that I am actually enjoying running, and I think a lot of you guys will have fun. You can run this in solo or group play. I think it honestly works best in group play, as you guys can be a crowd control player, but I also do this when I want to challenge myself. I run solo missions or even heroic activities, going for those convoys. Everything in this game you guys can do with this build, and it's a lot of fun. Yes, it will take a little bit of different play style, but if you guys are seeing in this video, definitely does what it needs to do, and that's kill the enemies. And I'm having a ton of fun playing it, but I know you guys want to get into the build, so why don't we do that right now? So for the specialization, you guys do want to go with the technician class. That's going to give you that 10% extra skill damage, and then it's also going to give you that 1 skill tier. That is why we are running with the technician for this build. For the weapon, we are going with the capacitor. Now, this is going to be our primary if you guys have it. If you don't, you guys can go with the test subject. The reason why the capacitor is so good is because of the talent. Remember, if you're running a lot of skill tiers, you gain 7.5% weapon damage for every skill tier. So if you're running 6 skill tier like me, it really makes a difference in the amount of damage that you're doing with this build. And not only that, when you build that 40 stack, your skill damage is improved by 1.5% skill damage for each stack, which is amazing. And that's why this is probably one of the best skill damage weapons to use. Now, if you don't have it, the test subject's another good one because it has perfectly in sync. That's going to give you 40% skill damage for 5 seconds and 40% weapon damage as long as you're hitting the enemy with the skill and then also putting out the damage. So either or definitely will work. Obviously, if you have the capacitor, that's going to be your best bet. For the mask, we are running the Hannah U. So we're going to run a 2-piece Hannah U. This is going to give us 10% skill damage and then 10% skill haste. So we have skill tier on here, we have skill damage, status effects, and then a skill haste mod. For the chest, we are running the Hannah U chest piece, which gives us 10% skill haste, 10% skill damage, skill tier, skill haste, skill damage, skill haste mod, and then we have glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 25%. All damage you take is amplified by 50%. Reason why this is so good is because all damage you deal is amplified. That's including your skill, so amplified by 25%. And then for our holster, we are running a wyvern wear. We do have a 2-piece wyvern wear on, so we get that 10% skill damage, 10% status effects. We have skill tier on here, skill damage, and status effects. For the knee pads, we are running the golden gear knee pads for that 10% status effects. We do have an armor roll on here because since we do get that 1 skill tier from the technician class, we're able to stack a little bit of armor, and we have status effects and skill damage. So as you guys see, the trend is status effects, skill damage throughout the build. Now for the gloves, we are running the BTSU gloves, and the reason why we are running these is because it allows us to get our skill back a lot quicker. And it also puts us in overcharge. If you look right here, we have skill tier, skill haste, repair skills on there. But then look at the talent, grants 15% high skill haste per skill tier. So you times that by 6. And then detonating a hive refreshes your skill cooldowns and grants overcharge for 15 seconds. So if I throw out my hive and I detonate it, I'm gonna get my sticky bomb back. And that's what you guys are seeing. I constantly can have it back. And then also my hive keeps coming back because the skill haste is so high because we are 6 skill tier. Now this does also affect your allies. So if you're running in a group, it will overcharge their skills, which is actually pretty cool. Allies receiving this effect are unable to benefit from it again for another 120 seconds. So that's the one thing, there is a cooldown time on that. And then for the backpack, we have our 2nd piece of wyvern wear, and we have skill tier, skill damage, skill haste mod, and then look, creeping death. When you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within 8 meters of your target. That's why we want to have a lot of status effects on this build and skill damage, because that's what this build is built around. For the skills, we are running the Stinger Hive, and then that's going to cause that bleed. You can see the refill speed, 1.2 seconds, and then look at the damage, 1.1 million, and the bleed damage, 70,000, bleed duration, almost 10 seconds. So a lot of damage right there. And then we're going to pair that up. We do pair that up with the sticky bomb, and then we're running with the burn sticky bomb because that's going to give us that 16.7 second cooldown. Gives us 1.8 million damage. The duration is 12 seconds, and remember, this does cause burn, so they will burn for 12 seconds, which is crazy. So you have status effects along with that creeping death, which matters, and that's why you guys are seeing in the gameplay that we're able to do so much damage and still be able to help. Now you could use this. I definitely recommend trying this in solo and in group play. I definitely think in group play it would help out your teammates, because when those enemies start to burn, they can't shoot at your teammates. And when those enemies start to bleed, that's a lot of status effects going on. And if your teammates are using that damage, and every time you go in overcharge, it helps out their skills. So a lot of benefit. You could use this in group play, and that's why I really recommend, if you guys are looking at creating some type of team status effect control build that you still want to put out some damage, well, this is the build for you, and I think a lot of you guys will have fun. I know I only showed some solo play gameplay, as you guys are seeing, but don't worry, 100% I've tested it. It does work in group play, so you can use this in solo or group play. Let me know what you guys think, guys. We're gonna wrap up the video here. Remember, if you guys are enjoying these videos, leaving a thumbs up is the best way to show support to the channel. And if you guys have any questions, use the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, nothing but skills is out.